this morning, but we want to go ahead and enter into worship. And I had a pastor the other day say to me, he said, "Can you answer a question for me?" He pastors a church himself. He said, "Why is it that when you start church, you only have 15 people show up, then after the worship's over, 20 or 30 more walk in the door?" I said, "When you find the answer, you let me know." Oh, Jesus help us. Amen. I said, if we can find the answers to a lot of our questions for why we do what we do as humans, come on, then we could resolve a lot of our problems. Well, it could be a miracle. You're exactly right. But anyway, hey, I'm glad you're here. Amen. We're going to enter into worship, and we're going to gather for prayer, asking God to meet needs this morning. So if you're here and ready for prayer, we want you to come and gather around the front. Brent's going to come and lead us in prayer this morning as we enter into worship. We have those that have sent prayer requests this morning that we continue to pray for. Roxy, we continue to remember Roxy in prayer, and we just believe for complete healing in her body this morning and strength, restoration this morning in her life. Friend of ours in Washington State, her mother fell yesterday and has broken her pelvis, I believe she said. I don't see just Pastor Darlene to make sure I'm correct with that, but she sent the request. So we want to pray for this mother this morning. She's a pastor of a church. Her daughter is that we are good friends with and in Washington State. So we want to pray for her mom this morning and asking God to touch her. Brant's grandmother in Alabama, we continue to pray for her. Just so many others this morning that need. Sandra is sick. We want to pray for her. Bree is sick with this virus bug that's going around. So we want to pray for Bree this morning. I think they said one of the girls were sick with it. And so we want to pray for them this morning and just asking God to touch and bring healing this morning. Amen. Aren't you thankful this morning that we can trust in a God that is able? I put something down in notes this morning, and I'm not preaching it, but I put it down. I'll use it probably sometime this week. And it says, it's better to trust the facts of God than the feelings of man. Amen. I'd rather trust the facts of God and what God said and what God declares and what God has spoken than how I feel, than what others think. Amen. Because it makes a difference when you trust God. Because he will never fail. His word will never return void or empty. Aren't you glad for that this morning? And I pray for pastors this morning and pastors that are needing revival. One pastor said to me Friday night, he said, "I got a text and we're not live, so we're not live." So I got a pastor that